Hi, I'm Patrick Ramage. I'm Global Whale Program Manager for IFAW, the International Fund for Animal Welfare, and I'm absolutely exhausted. And there's a reason for that. We've just finished at IFAW a really intense period of campaign activity on some of our most important campaigns. We're working hard, obviously, around the clock, around the world, and all year long. This last 3 months, we've faced a real challenging period because 3 of our most critical campaigns all seem to come to a head at the same time. Starting with our founding campaign, our efforts to stop the Canadian commercial seal hunt, which played out in the winter of 2007 on the ice up in Canada, where our film crews and activists and scientists were bearing witness to that continuing slaughter up there, and trying to bring that to the attention of the world's media and to our supporters around the world. Very successful this year, but unfortunately that hunt continues. Right from that, then, myself and a good number of people from across our 16 country offices worldwide were engaged in preparations for the annual meeting of the International Whaling Commission, or IWC, a very important but little known intergovernmental meeting of 70 countries from around the world that come together each year to decide what's going to happen to whales. And IFAW for the last 2 decades has fought for some really important progress at that meeting. So the meeting this year was in Anchorage, Alaska, and we had some very creative strategies for taking public awareness in the United States and elsewhere around the world to new heights, literally, about the IWC and threats to whales worldwide. And then finally, we've just concluded, our team has just returned this weekend, from another international meeting involving more than 170 countries that was held in The Hague in the Netherlands this year. It's an intergovernmental body that meets every 3 years called CITES, the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, that considers threats to whales, elephants, a whole variety of both animal and plant species. And IFAW is right at the forefront of efforts there to work with government leaders and scientists to ensure that endangered species are protected and making progress in the 21st century, that we're not backsliding into a situation where we're trading animals for their meat and parts and products. And in my own case, I'm still recovering from quite an effort that for me, both as a person, as a parent, and as a professional advocating on these issues was quite inspirational. And that was the trip of what we call the whale plane. An artist, Ulrich is his name, who his claim to fame, I guess, is that he was the airbrush artist for the Grateful Dead and Jerry Garcia for many years. Last summer, in the summer of 2006 here, had painted one of the Cape Air planes with beautiful images of humpback whales. And earlier this year, I came up with the idea of doing kind of a barnstorming public awareness tour across the United States en route to this meeting of the International Whaling Commission. And along the way, we collected artwork from school children across America. IFAW had worked with the Weekly Reader Corporation, a provider of educational material to elementary school children in this country. And 4th and 5th graders in all 50 states contributed beautiful images of humpback whales that we were able to share online, and we sponsored an exhibit at the IWC meeting for government officials to see this artwork. Henry and I were able to fly in a vessel that was itself a piece of art, collect artwork and inspirational messages from America's school kids, and take those out to the government officials with an emphasis that we really found made a difference at this year's IWC meeting. It was critical and quite poignant this year that we undertake this activity because the same species of whale that was painted on the outside of our plane is now under threat from the government of Japan. That is these humpback whales, one of the most beautiful and kind of iconic species anywhere in nature, certainly one of the most charismatic of the great whale species. The government of Japan, some months ago, even before this IWC meeting was convened, announced they were going to kill 50 humpback whales. This is a species that's been protected for 40 years from the harpoon. That 50 of these animals are going to die in a protected international sanctuary around Antarctica later this year. Unless we're successful in doing what we can to dissuade Japan from this course of action, IFAW would be unable to field the kind of quality delegations to these important and sometimes obscure international meetings that in the end have a lot to do with animals continuing to thrive in their wild habitats in 2007. So thank you very much for all that you're doing to make our work possible. We're proud to represent you. It's certainly one of the greatest privileges of my life, and we couldn't be more grateful. Thank you.